Are you looking for some great indie podcasts to listen to? Check out the Pod Nation list on podchaser.com, where you can find a list of great indie podcasts, get links to their official websites, and even listen to some of their episodes without needing to create an account or log in. Here's an example of one of the great indie podcasts you can find on Pod Nation.
I'm Harrison.
I'm Jordan.
Well, I'm Harrison.
I'm fucking Jordan.
All right!
And we're the Grief Rio podcast. Let us be your unnatural Sherpa guides on this existential plane of mountainous game and movie exploration.
And don't forget about that spookiness that lives within us all, but mainly in you, you spooky bitch.
How dare I'm offended.
We've been voted the best podcast to listen to by many.
By many, that means a few. That's more than one. Results may vary.
We'll see you on the next episode of Grief
Burrito, yeah!
Yes!
So once again, for some great indie podcasts, check out the Pod Nation list on podchaser.com.
To another episode of Better Than Robin Hood.
Hello.
I am Pete.
I am Fran.
And thanks for listening. So, we're on our ongoing and seemingly never-ending epic quest to find a movie that you love more than Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
With the Kevin Costner, yes.
Yes, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with Kevin Costner.
Yeah, because there's loads of Robin Hoods.
There are loads of Robin Hoods, yeah. But not every movie has Kevin Costner in.
No.
So maybe it should.
I just wanted to make that clear. It's the one with Kevin Costner
Yeah,
in.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yeah.
There's only one Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Did you not know that?
No. I thought there was more than one.
No, there's loads of films with Robin Hood in the title, but only one Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Well, that's all right then.
Yeah, it's
okay.
all good. So this week we begin our Odyssey, our Star Wars Odyssey. We are going to watch every single Star Wars episode movie. None of the spin-offs like Solo or Rogue One. But maybe we'll watch them another time. Shame, because they're probably the two best ones. Yeah, but we're going to watch the episodes leading up to episode 9, Rise of Skywalker, that will be out around Christmas time.
Yes.
We've already booked our tickets for that.
I'm not going to the midnight screening.
I'm going to the midnight screening, and then I'm going again the next day.
Yeah, but what time did we book us? Like 4 o'clock, isn't it?
Yeah, or 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very excited about the Rise of Skywalker, are you?
Yes.
Yeah?
Not enough to
Not
go midnight.
I thought you were up for the midnight screening.
No.
No?
No.
No, not at the moment, no. Tired, didn't you?
Yeah. New job.
What's going on? Yeah, we'll be discussing episode 1 today, The Phantom Menace.
Yes.
And also hearing a tape that I found from Hollywood history. A little with some unknown, never before heard data, facts about The Phantom Menace. Some secrets that have never seen the light of day until today.
Where did you get this tape?
Found it in a bin.
Okay.
Under some foil.
Okay.
Well, because I was once at George Lucas's house.
Oh yeah, did you go in his bin?
I stole lots of things, and then the other day I threw them away because we were tidying up, moving house.
Yeah.
And this tape just appeared.
All right, like that receipt earlier.
Like the receipt earlier for the things I needed to take back to the shops. Yeah, just like that. Things just turn up. You never know. We'll also be speaking to a popular figure from history at the end of the show.
All right. Who's that?
We'll be speaking to flight entrepreneur and movie producer Howard Hughes.
Who's that?
You may remember him from the film The Aviator, starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
What did he play?
He played Howard Hughes.
Okay, I don't remember him.
You don't remember The Aviator?
I've never seen The Aviator, have I?
It's a wicked film. You've never seen The Aviator?
No.
We'll have to do that on the podcast.
Yeah, sometime.
That's definitely
after January.
It's definitely better than Robin Hood.
That's what you think.
Well, firstly, though, to boost our ratings, we need to do some true crime. So
yes.
It's time for the true crime section. Are you ready?
I don't know what question you're going to ask
I don't know what question. Yeah, okay. So let's play the true crime section theme music.
True crime section. True crime section.
Okay, true crime section. Here we go. The Yorkshire Ripper. Did he do it?
Yes.
True crime section.
Well, that was the true crime section. Hope you all enjoyed that. Yeah.
I was more prepared this
You
week.
were, yeah, because you got a bit confused about whether Fred and Rose West had done it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did do it.
Yeah. I thought they had.
So anyway, let's talk the Phantom Menace quickly before I play my tape. We asked some of the podcasts we've been promoting this week from the Pod Nation list what they thought about this movie, and here's some of their thoughts. I used to watch this podcast point out that Jar Jar Binks is just annoying as hell, and that they find the Phantom Menace way too slow.
I think it is slow, but I
agree.
don't find him annoying. I quite like him.
We'll have an in-depth discussion about Jar Jar, surely. Bring on the Weird podcast pointed out that it should have begun by saying a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, because it's happened long before episode 4. I agree with that. That's a good point.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. I Understood That Reference podcast points out that a lot of people have warmed to this film over the years, but they still hate it.
Okay.
Sorry You're in My Seat podcast say, out of the prequel trilogy, this is the better film. Similar to The Force, it is balanced. There are great characters, such as young Obi-Wan and Darth Maul, but there's also Jar Jar and trade deals, and there are great fight scenes, but also a 20-minute pod race, which slows the narrative.
I don't know, I like the pod race.
Some of that I agree with. I would definitely disagree that it's the better out of the prequel trilogy. It's by far the worst, in my opinion.
I'll have to watch the rest of him to remember.
Nooks and Crannies said, I loved very little about this film. Hate, Jar Jar, that pod race, how much I paid, how excited you were, how excited then let down we are. George Lucas, ugh. The graphics, it was boring too.
Alright, okay.
So a lot of
Everyone
dislike
hates
there.
Jar Jar, don't they?
Yeah, I hate Jar Jar as well. 3 hours later, podcast said, bad, Jar Jar, good, Darth Maul. I used to watch this, said, hated Jar Jar. Mostly I was just bored during it. I was so excited for this when it came out. I grew up on the originals, then they re-released them before this came out, and we saw them again. This came out and it was just so slow. It looked nice though. Fanboy and the Hater. Loved the Darth Maul fight scene, but hated Jar Jar and Anakin.
Oh, is he the dude with the painted face?
Darth Maul, yeah.
Yeah, that was very good, especially when he get cuts in half.
Yeah. So that's some feedback from the guys on the Pod Nation list on podchaser.com. You can find us on there, and you can find all those podcasts I just mentioned as well. Some guys from outside the list. Jack and the Geek Stalk said, the freeway lightsaber fight at the end is still some of the best sword fighting in cinema history.
It's a lot of twirling, isn't there?
There is a lot of spinning. However, everything with Jar Jar, Anakin and the Nemoidians and talk of trade disputes continue to make this film barely watchable.
Yeah, but that's what it's about.
Beyond the Outer Rim podcast said, I was 10 when it was released and it was my first Star Wars film. It's still my favourite of the saga and the most nostalgic for me. Even to the point that when we were invited to the podcast stage at Star Wars Celebration Chicago...
Wow.
I know. Impressed about that. We chose to do the entire episode around the Phantom Menace. Well, fair enough.
Wow, wicked. That
Yeah.
must have been a good experience.
I mean, this was the first new Star Wars film I saw at the cinema as well.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, they did re-release the original trilogy, and I saw all of them in the cinema. So, yeah, I even at the time, how old was I when this came out? 1999, so I'd have been about 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember even at the time thinking, oh, that wasn't as good as the original
No,
trilogy.
you must have been older than 12.
12, 13, 1999.
My sister was born in 1990, so she would have been 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been 13.
Yeah, so I would have been 12.
Yeah.
Because you're
Good-
so
good
old.
maths there.
It's quick maths. 2 plus 2 is 4. 3 minus 1 is 2 quick maths. Yeah. So, lots of hate for Jar Jar Binks, but it's worth pointing out that
He does do a lot, even though he
Yeah.
is an idiot.
He is, but it's worth pointing out he was nearly a much better character, because as I mentioned, I've come across a piece of Hollywood history. Now,
Right.
This is Russell Crowe auditioning for a role in the Star Wars prequels, and this was just before his big breakout role in Gladiator. So it's no surprise he was looking for quite another weighty role in the Star Wars movies.
Gladiator time, was it?
It was. So let's hear what went on in his audition between Russell Crowe and George Lucas, because this is what I found the other day.
Oh, hi, Russell. Thank you for coming in. I'll be running lines with you today.
Thank you, sir. Could you perhaps tell me a little bit more about the role?
Well, sure. You're auditioning for the role of a character named Jar Jar Binks.
Interesting name. What kind of character is he? A brave warrior? Noble Jedi Knight, perhaps? Beacon of hope in a dark world seeking to crush injustice in the galaxy. I recently auditioned for a movie with Ridley Scott, and he had quite a good character for me. Similar, I would have thought, to this Jar Jar. He was Maximus Decimus Meridius, husband to a murdered wife, father to a murdered son.
Well, sure. That's great, but Jar Jar is more of a light-hearted character. I mean, he's real funny, though. Maybe we just run some lines?
Okay. Let us begin, George.
We need somewhere to hide.
Excuse me, but the most safest place would be Gunga City. It is where I grew up. It is a hidden city, a great city, a living city, the city that shaped me and molded me into a proud warrior.
Russell, that was okay, but try and stick to my script.
Oh, sorry, I was improvising, trying to flesh out this man, Binks.
Well, stop it. Can you say, how rude?
How rude.
Could you maybe like mispronounce it, like say wooed instead of rude?
Why? It would make this Jar Jar seem foolish.
How about just try it?
How wooed.
Oh, that's great. Now stay in character and pretend that you just stepped in some shit.
In shit.
Yeah, like animal shit.
Very well. Blast! I have stepped in animal feces. Clearly this once proud Gunga City has fallen on hard times due to the tyrannical rulers.
I think that's all we need. Thank you, Russell.
Wait, surely you want to hear more. I see that in our later script this Binks makes an important political speech. Surely you want to hear me do that for you.
Sure, why not? I've still got some of this sandwich to eat.
It is clear these separatists made a pact with the Federation of Trade, senators, fellow delegates. In response to this direct threat to the Republic, I propose that the Senate give immediately emergency powers to the Supreme Chancellor.
Well, that was real good, Russell. Now maybe try reading it like say you're a cartoon rabbit.
A cartoon rabbit?
Well, yeah, a cartoon rabbit.
Okay.
But a cartoon rabbit who has learning difficulties.
Learning difficulties. Fellow delegates.
Really, really bad learning difficulties.
Fellow delegates.
That's perfect. You're hired, Russell.
Well, that was Russell Crowe auditioning.
I didn't realise he auditioned for that.
Yeah, it's almost unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who would have known that Russell Crowe auditioned to be Jar Jar Binks?
Who actually played Jar Jar Binks?
Some guy.
So Russell obviously didn't want to do it then.
Well, I'd say it's probably better for his career that he didn't, because obviously the year later he was in Gladiator and catapulted into superstardom.
Amazing film.
Gladiator is amazeballs. One of your top 10 films, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, still don't think it's as good as Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, though.
No, I think it's number 3 though.
Yeah? Too close.
Yeah.
Good. Right, well then, I don't think we can skirt around the issue anymore. We're going to have to talk about the Phantom Menace.
Okay.
Alright, so...
You've made a lot of notes.
Well, not as many as I would for films that I think are better than Robin Hood.
Okay then. So you don't think it's better than Robin Hood?
No, I don't. But I think this is the only one that isn't better than Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think? the other prequels are?
I do, yeah. I enjoy them more than Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Well, alright then. We'll,
So, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, was released in 1999. It was directed by George Lucas. It stars Liam Neeson, Ewan McGregor, Natalie Portman, Ian McDiarmid, and Jake Lloyd, as well as Frank Oz and Anthony Daniels and all the other Star Wars
and
staples.
also, which I never knew, which you pointed out to me, is what's her name's in it?
Keira Knightley pops
Yeah.
up. Yeah, a very young Keira Knightley is also in it as one of Padme's handmaids.
She is.
Yeah. The release of this film cost the US economy an estimated $293 million in
Wow.
lost man hours of people taking the day off to go and see it. Yeah. So
Really?
There's a lot of excitement around this movie.
Do you think that's going to happen for the next Star Wars?
Well, because this is now the third of the new ones. There's probably quite a lot of people skipping work for the Force Awakens. I would have
And
thought.
now you can go at midnight. I presume people will just go to work the next day.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think because movies are so easy to get to now as well. It's like, there's more ways to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah. People who are like really desperate will just like steal it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said, there was a lot of excitement. People paid full admission to go and see Meet Joe Black just to see the trailer when they knew it was going to be at the beginning of Meet Joe Black.
No way.
I know.
That's ages ago, Meet Joe.
I know. And, well, I'd say I wish I'd skipped seeing Meet Joe Black. This is really boring.
It's alright.
It's so
I don't
dull.
remember what it's about. Actually.
I watched it like not long after it came out. And obviously I was too young to really enjoy it at all, so I hated it. And then I watched it as an adult, and I was really bored again. I fell asleep for 45 minutes, woke up, and nothing had changed in the plot.
I actually don't know what Meet Joe Black's about, so...
It's about a guy who dies, and he comes back. Well, death sort of takes over his body, but then death falls in love with this woman, and yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then he lets him come back, doesn't he?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember how it ends. It's really boring.
Anyway.
Yeah, we're never going to discuss Meet Joe Black on the podcast. If you want to see Meet Joe Black,
It's on...
it's probably on Amazon Prime. But
Or...
I wouldn't suggest it. It's really boring. Watch the clip on YouTube of Brad Pitt getting run over, because that's the only entertaining bit.
Oh, yeah, he gets run over, doesn't he?
That's pretty cool.
He gets hit
Yeah,
by two cars.
Hits
Boom,
into
boom.
another car, yeah.
I remember sending my sister that on
Yeah.
on that smidget of film on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Because I knew she liked people.
That is a good bit,
Yeah.
yeah. Reviews were mixed, but initial fan reaction was, I'd say, largely negative to the Phantom Menace, and remains so, as we just heard. Most people were slightly down on the movie, although there's a few fans of it. It's got a 53% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and 59% from fans.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say. Yeah, middling. 50-50 is a good score for this
Yeah.
film, yeah. Some of it's good, some of it's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it did make a shit ton of money, just over $1 billion in total, and is still generating dollar bills for Disney. Yeah.
Merch.
Sweet merch.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Disney are going to make a load of money off their Obi-Wan Kenobi series, which
Yes.
wouldn't have happened probably without Ewan McGregor being in the prequels.
Yeah.
So they're still coining it in, thanks to that. Fran, describe the plot of The Phantom Menace.
Okay, so there is the Sith, who's a bad man, and he basically wants to take over the universe
Yeah?
and take over all these planets. So he gets two dudes who are aliens to be part of his little empire, and then they go and attack this planet, basically. And then the Queen realizes, and she wants to obviously save her people, but she has to leave the planet first to go and find help. And that's where they meet Anakin and his mother, and they do the really, really, really long race, which I quite like. But anyway, and then they come back and they save the day, and then Not Ewan McGregor. The other dude. What's the other dude called?
Which one? The other Jedi?
Yeah.
Qui-Gon Jinn, played by Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson. Yeah, he gets killed. And then the other Jedi,
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Kenobi, saves the day and kills the Camino man.
Kills Darth Maul.
Yeah, and then everyone's saved and, yeah.
Yeah,
Anakin saves the day
he does.
by blowing up the spaceship.
For a Star Wars movie, it's quite a convoluted plot. There's a lot going on.
I think it's alright.
Yeah, there's all sorts. There's space politics, racing.
They always want to sign this deed, don't they?
Yeah, you must sign the treaty.
Yeah.
Take him away.
I like that bit.
Would you say that's one of your highlights?
Yeah, take him away.
Take him away.
And then one of the dudes goes, order.
Oh yeah, we'll put that down in my highlights.
Yeah.
For those of you outside of Britain, you might not know that the Speaker of the House of Commons in the United Kingdom likes to say order a lot, and we've been hearing that a lot because of Brexit.
Yeah.
So he's been on telly a lot saying order, and in the Galactic Senate, up one stands and says order.
Maybe
just
it
like
was
John
him.
Burkow. John Burkow's in Star Wars as well. You never know.
Yeah.
Although he would not have been the Speaker at that time. Anyway.
Might be practicing.
It's fun to hear someone say order. Or do you reckon he watched it and then went, I'm going to say order just like that?
Yeah.
That's where he drew his inspiration from.
From the Phantom Menace.
Yeah. When there's
what's this one called?
The Phantom Menace.
Oh, yeah.
When there's really boring debates in the House, do you think he pretends he's like in the Galactic Senate? That's what I'd do.
Imagine them all as aliens.
Yeah.
They all look like aliens.
I bet he
don't they?
wishes he was like the Emperor and he could tell everyone what to do. Yeah. Instead of just going, order. That's pretty much his only job. And to read out the results of votes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so apart from John Burkow being in it, what did you like about the Phantom Menace?
I really liked the race.
The pod race?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to admit, the whole plot around it and the actual length of the race goes on far too long.
How long is the race? Half an hour?
Yeah, and all the shit and the build up to it, it's probably about half the fucking film.
Yeah, but the whole point of him doing the race is so that they can rebuild the spaceship.
Yeah.
Because they've got no bloody money.
A lot of these nitpicks I'll bring up are covered better by Red Letter Media. If you haven't seen that, go watch the Mr. Plinkett review of this movie by Red Letter Media. But why didn't you just steal the parts that he needed? Because he's a super powerful Jedi.
And he wanted to play by the rules, didn't he?
But he cheats anyway because he changes the dice roll and stuff.
Yeah, but I suppose sometimes he wants to...
And he was willing to cheat him anyway because he was trying to give him galactic credits. And will
accept your galactic credits.
What has no use for galactic credits? He says they're worthless.
Well, what he should have done was had some good shit to trade, like some black market stuff.
Well, that's fair enough that he didn't have any money because they had to escape from the planet.
Yeah, but
So,
you should
I
always
accept
have
that.
a black market doodah or two.
You'd also think the most important thing on your ship, your hyperdrive, where you'd have loads of spare parts for it. Yeah.
I would have a spare.
At all times, yeah.
But imagine if you were stuck out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, because that's how you're able to move across the galaxy.
Yeah, I would always have a spare.
You would think so.
That's just me. It's like you have a... Well,
you have a spare tyre, don't you?
Yeah.
Because the tyres are really important. You can't drive the car.
You don't have a spare boiler, do you?
No, but you can survive without your boiler. You're not going to die if your boiler explodes.
No, you just have to have a cold shower or two.
Yeah, until the man comes and fixes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or woman.
Or woman, yes.
It's usually a man. Yeah.
It's a man job.
So I do love some parts of the Phantom Menace. You know, it's by far my least favourite Star Wars.
Go on
movie.
then.
I love the opening action scene because it really shows how badass Jedis were. Because in the original trilogy, obviously Luke's a badass by the end of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't see a lot of Jedis kicking ass.
No, that fight scene's pretty good as well, isn't it?
The lightsaber fight in the end's great. And that's one thing I do love about the prequels. There's good action in them, all of them, including the Phantom Menace. But then I said we'd talk about you've got Binks in this one, and he's barely in the other two.
He's in all of them, isn't he?
Yeah, he's hardly in either of the other two.
Why is he in it? I don't understand what his character
George
brings.
Lucas thought he was really funny.
Oh, okay.
He was wrong.
I mean, I don't mind him. Some people hate him, but
Yeah, lots of people hate him.
I don't mind him.
He's so annoying. And he doesn't do anything. He just fucks about.
He does end up blowing up half the army's spaceships.
That's Anakin. He's annoying as well.
Yeah.
But that's more... I think, yeah, Jake Lloyd wasn't a great child actor to start with. But he hasn't got a lot to work with. George Lucas doesn't write very good dialogue.
I thought he did alright as a kid.
Yeah, I mean,
How old's he?
It's
8?
hard. I mean, it's very
5,
hard
6?
to find kid actors to start with. That's why
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin was in like every film that had kids in it when he was
Yeah.
at the right age, because he was a good actor at that age. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, and there's that other kid now. Oh God, what's his name? Justin Trevor. Anyway, yeah, there's a kid actor.
Yeah.
The kid from Room.
Oh,
Yeah, he's been in loads of things because he's good.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. So if you happen to be at a time when there's no good kid actors around, you get stuck with Jake Lloyd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Binks and Anakin are really annoying. Yeah.
But you
Shame.
couldn't have the film without them.
Well, you could have had better people in them, and you could definitely cut Jar Jar out. Or you could have just had a Gungan who wasn't really stupid and annoying.
Or what you could have done was just cut Jar Jar Binks out, but you couldn't have cut Anakin out because otherwise it wouldn't make any sense.
What you could do though is simply start the story at episode 2, where he's already in like an adult.
Yeah, but you don't see where he comes from, and then people will be like, "Oh, what's happened to him in his previous life?" Blah blah blah.
Then you make another free prequel. make another $3 billion. Everyone's happy.
Maybe. I think it works.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't stand that little kid. He's so annoying. Yippee! All the time.
Yeah, but he's a kid. He's 5.
He shouldn't be happy. He's a slave.
He's pretty well, you know.
I know, they've got
he's
pretty
got his own house.
Sweet digs for a slave. He gets
Yeah.
time off to build fucking pod races.
Spaceships.
Yeah, and all sorts, and robots.
I think
Yeah.
that's a very good slave life.
If you had to be a slave, being a slave in Star Wars would be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello,
Ahoy!
my name is Adam,
And I'm Nick.
and we are the hosts of Bottom of the Stream, which is a weekly podcast searching for hidden gems at the bottom of Netflix.
We're looking to find some great films which you may not have heard of, because there's a lot of weird stuff on Netflix.
On the way, we're finding a lot of bad films.
But we're having fun.
We're always having fun, so come and join us. Come aboard as we sail the Netflix stream.
Hop on the podcast boat.
Come and find us at bottomofthestream.com or on any good podcast app.
So once again, for some great indie podcasts, check out the Pod Nation list on podchaser.com.
But, I mean, slavery is obviously
It's awful.
quite bad.
But if you had to be, I think Star Wars is your place.
And Darth Maul's pretty cool. He's the evil Sith apprentice who gets cut in half by Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh yeah, his
Yeah.
face is like
Yeah.
no.
And even, because he doesn't really say almost anything in the whole film. But he's like Boba Fett. Never has many lines, but everyone likes him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darth Maul's cool.
He's cool.
I'm looking forward to seeing more of him, hopefully, in the new Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show.
Yes.
Yeah, should be good. Yeah, Pod Race goes on too long. I suspect as well that Qui-Gon Jinn, Liam Neeson's character, is a little bit gay for Anakin. He's very, like, ooh, hello.
No, he just thinks that he's got some good qualities about him.
Yeah, a good bottom.
No. He does not. He wants to train him up as a Jedi.
Sex him up.
No, he doesn't. You're talking a load of shit.
What else did I
He's
like?
his dad figure.
I like Boss Nash, the Gungan leader. He's nice. Or Sabongo.
Oh, where he does this.
Yeah, I liked him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's alright.
Yeah, I liked that. I love Ian McDermott as Palpatine. He's always great.
And so you actually liked a lot more than I thought you would.
Yeah. Palpatine's probably the best Star Wars character.
And you like Yoda.
Yeah, who doesn't love Yoda? Especially a puppet Yoda and not a CGI Yoda.
Yeah, and he gets annoyed,
Yeah.
doesn't he, at what's his name?
Yeah, he gets all angry at Obi-Wan at the end.
He's like,
Yeah.
You may not train this young
But that's another thing
Anakin.
that doesn't make any sense. It's like, I think this is going to be a really bad idea, and I'm the most powerful Jedi, and I know everything. So why would?
Surely he'd be able to see in the future.
Yeah, just go, look, if you train this guy, he's going to kill us all.
Yeah, let's not train him.
Just don't train him. Yeah, you could have just left him somewhere.
Send him back to his mother.
Go back to Tatooine.
But I suppose that's why you have to give people the choice. Democracy, isn't it?
The Jedis aren't a democracy, though. Yoda's in charge.
Yeah, but he wants to give someone the benefit of the doubt, though, doesn't he?
I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
But based on just because Obi-Wan promised Qui-Gon that he would train him, then that gets every single Jedi killed.
Not every single one.
Well, like 2 of them survive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, never mind. It's just a film.
Yeah. It's not real.
And he says we can't use our powers to help the Queen, but then he uses his powers all the time.
He's like,
Yeah.
you will have this money.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll make the dice do whatever
He's
I
trying
like.
to mind trick people and cheat people all the time.
I know.
And then when he actually really could be doing with using his powers,
He's like,
he doesn't.
I will not do it.
That'd be like Superman just suddenly going, oh no, I'm not going to save that person.
I don't fancy it this
No,
time.
I've got a bit hungover.
No, I
Yeah.
don't get that.
Mm.
Why he does that.
Yeah, Yoda's a dumbass, and so is Qui-Gon Jinn.
Why is Yoda a dumbass?
Because he shouldn't let him train the boy.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that officially he's going to go bad.
I suppose, I mean, we've got hindsight, because we already know that he's going to become Darth Vader, whereas Yoda can't know everything.
I am your father.
No, it's not true.
That is brilliant, isn't it, when he does that?
Oh yeah, well, I'm looking forward to watching The Empire Strikes Back in a few weeks, because that's the best one.
Is that the one where he goes, I am your father?
That is, yeah.
Okay. I
Look
thought he
forward
did
to
it in
that.
the last one.
Well, he says the words, I am your father, but that's not the big reveal. That's at the end of Empire Strikes Back, which is the second one.
Alright, what's the big reveal?
That he's his father.
Yeah, but he says it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a shock to Luke. Luke doesn't know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true. I know. Bloody fireworks.
What's a firework?
Apologies for any interference from fireworks. It's Guy Fawkes Day. Yeah. Well, your favourite part then of Phantom Menace?
Take him away.
Take him away. The Nemoidians are quite good, yeah.
They
They're
are.
very overacting, aren't they?
I
They're
like
always
their
really,
little faces.
yeah, they're always really scared and like
Yeah.
cowardly. Yeah,
And their mouths move really weird, don't they? They're
yeah,
like
fishmen.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like frog, half fishman.
Yeah.
I quite like that moment.
I like the Nemoidians. Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe I like the bit where he cuts the dude in half, the bad guy.
Yeah, the lightsaber fight at the end's cool. Yeah.
Lots of twirling.
Yeah, lots of spinning around. Yeah.
Not twirling, there is it. What's it? Fighting.
It's dance move fighting. It's like Krav Maga.
And jump.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very well choreographed.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah. I enjoyed that bit very much.
Yeah, that's mine. What is yours?
My favourite bit of the Phantom Menace. Oh, yeah, I'd have to say the same. Lightsaber fight at the end. Yeah.
And favourite character?
Oh, yeah. Who's your favourite character?
I'm just going to do it to annoy you.
What, you going to say Jar Jar?
Yeah.
You swine.
No, I like the Queen.
Really? The trouble with this film, right? There isn't really a central character, is there? It's like an ensemble.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't really learn a lot about any of the characters.
No.
Yeah. The only one with any sort of backstory is Anakin and Jar Jar, and both of them are really annoying.
I think the Queen. I like her.
Yeah, Natalie Portman.
Yeah, I'm going with the Queen.
She was pretty cool at the end. She's just shooting people and everything.
Yeah, she gets well involved. Gives her hands day.
Yeah, Natalie Portman's a badass.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd have to say Obi-Wan, even though he doesn't do much apart from kill Darth Maul at the end.
Oh, yeah.
But I think I'm just saying that because he's the best character in the other 2 prequel films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you are. You're just going for glory, aren't you?
Alright, then I'll say Qui-Gon Jinn. Even though he's a bit of an idiot.
Who's he again?
Liam Neeson.
Oh, yeah.
Cannot use our powers to help her.
Who's the dude who is her bodyguard? He's quite funny.
Oh yeah, he's really capable. He's the guy I would have taken into town to help me steal the parts for the hyperdrive.
Yeah, he doesn't, does he?
No.
Just leaves him
Leaves him on the ship.
It's like, you stay here.
I would have gone to see Watto and said, I need a part for my hyperdrive. And when he wouldn't take my money, I'd have gone, okay. And then at night, I would have come back with that guy and Obi-Wan and just stolen all the things I need.
I could have mind Jedi'd it over the sand.
Yeah, they could have used their force powers.
Yeah, but that's not for good, is it?
But then he won't use...
they become evil.
I suppose, yeah. Because that's... The Jedi
Stealing is evil.
are supposed to do things for other people. They're supposed to be selfless, whereas the Sith are only selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would have become a Sith.
That's
why he didn't do it.
It's for the greater good, though.
No. You may not do bad things.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Crucial question. Is this film better than Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves?
No.
No, it isn't. How close do you think it's got?
How much did they give it?
Well, the audience score for it on Rotten Tomatoes is 59%.
I'll probably give you 48.
Yeah, I think that's being generous. If I
Yeah.
had to give it a rating, I'd say about 30.
It was alright. I did go on my phone for pretty much half the film because I was bored.
It is boring and a bit rubbish.
Yeah.
But it's still Star Wars, and I am a massive Star Wars fan. So I've still got some love for it deep down. You know, like, you've got relatives that are a bit annoying, but you've got to love them because they're your relatives. That's exactly how I see the Phantom Menace. They're like an annoying uncle. You're like, oh, yeah, you are still my uncle, and I love you, but for fuck's sake.
Stop touching my bum.
Yeah. There's a Bridget Jones in it. It's got an uncle that's always feeling her up.
Yeah.
That's how I see the Phantom Menace. Yeah. And that's a good analogy.
He touches her. I watched it last night when I was going to bed, and he touches her and gives her a good squeeze, doesn't he?
She does point out that he's not really her uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Phantom Menace is the creepy uncle of the Star Wars.
Yes.
Well, yeah. And then next week we'll be watching probably the precocious teenager of the family. We'll be watching Attack of the Clones.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. There's a lot going on, but it's still really stupid.
There's a lot more space time, isn't there?
Yeah, there's no annoying characters in Attack of the Clones, which is why I prefer it a lot to...
Doesn't Anakin meet her?
Oh, yeah, you've got their love scenes.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
We can fast forward.
Yeah. I don't wonder if they're on Netflix, because you can speed up the time on them now on Netflix.
You can just do that with the DVD.
Yeah, but it won't play the sound. Yeah, on Netflix you can watch things at 1.5 times speed.
Oh.
I might see if it's on there. Get through it a bit quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I already know what happens. I've seen these films hundreds of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a deal.
All right.
Don't tell anyone else we did that, though.
No, well, I'll just cut this bit out. Right, well, that was the Phantom Menace. It wasn't as good as Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
No, nowhere near.
I think we all knew that was going to be the case.
I'm afraid nowhere near.
Yeah. Well, let's cheer ourselves up by talking to someone in the past.
Yes, who are we talking to?
We're going to talk to Howard Hughes, who was a designer and producer of aeroplanes. And on November the 2nd, 1947, Howard Hughes launched his Spruce Goose aeroplane for the first time in Long Island, New York. So that's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So should we give Howard a ring, see how he's getting on?
What's his name? Howard Hughes?
Howard Hughes, yes.
Double-barreled, no?
That's Howard, first name, second name, Hughes.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. H.H., the big man.
The big man.
The inventor of the Spruce Goose and producer of movies.
Oh, okay. I'm ready.
Slightly odd man.
Okay.
So, let's fire up the time phone then. Hello there.
Hello, is that Mr. Howard?
It is Howard Hughes. Yes.
Oh, yes. Hello, Mr. Hughes.
How are you, ma'am? Where are you calling from today?
From the future.
From the future. The way of the future. The way of the future. The way of the future.
Yes.
There.
Morning, Howard. How did your flight go this morning, then?
It was marvellous, marvellous, marvellous. The goose flew for over half a mile and lifted up to 70 feet off the water, off the water, off the water. It was a triumph, triumph. I showed those smocks at the Department of Defense. They said the goose would never fly, but it did. Now they'll be lining up around the block to order my aircraft.
Oh, very nice. What exactly is the Spruce Goose designed for?
Why, to carry troops into battle, into battle, into battle. The Goose can carry 700 men and land in water or on terra firma. She's gonna change the face of warfare, warfare, warfare. Hitler and his cronies better watch out, watch out, watch out.
Hitler? Why are you worried about him?
Why, Hitler and the Nazis are the scourge of the world, scourge of the world, scourge of the world. Now we'll be able to fly thousands of troops all over the planet to take on him and his Nazi thugs. Why, we'll be sipping champagne in Paris by summer. Paris by summer, by summer.
Hitler's dead, Howard. The war is over, and it's been over for a while.
What? Well, that's impossible, impossible, impossible. Well, when did this happen?
About 2 years ago. Did nobody tell you?
Oh, well, I don't receive many visitors these days. I mainly sit in an oxygen tent surrounded by jars of my own piss. I guess news of the wars just passed me by while I poured all my efforts into making a Spruce Goose. Still, this plane will help us beat the Japanese. It's perfect for the island-hopping warfare of the Pacific. It's the way of the future, way of the future, way of the future.
I'm really sorry, but I'm afraid the Japanese have surrendered as well, Mr. Howard.
Motherfucker, 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 motherfucker.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, he's gone. The line's gone dead. Probably for the best.
Yeah, well, poor Howard. He really hoped he was going to win the war, but
Yeah.
the war had already been won.
I know, he's stuck in time, isn't he?
Oh yeah, that's what happens if you cut yourself off from the world
I know.
and just concentrate too much on building aeroplanes.
Did his planes ever go?
The Spruce Goose.
Go.
It did go. But it never went into full production because it was too expensive and there were safety concerns because it was mostly made out of wood.
Oh.
Made out of spruce trees, hence why it was called the Spruce Goose.
All right.
Yeah, I do believe the Spruce Goose is still around. It can be seen in a museum of flight in Washington, I believe. Could be wrong about that.
I may have seen it when I went to Washington.
Son of a bitch.
I don't remember seeing it.
All right.
We did go to a museum and we saw Abraham Lincoln.
You couldn't have missed it because it's got a wingspan the size of a football field.
No.
No?
We did not see that.
Ah, okay. So it's probably somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should really have looked that up.
Never mind.
I'll put it in the show notes. Look that up. Right, well, that's the podcast for this week. You can contact us if you want. You can find us on Twitter at RobinHoodPod or on Instagram at RobinHoodPod. You can email me. I'm PeteLanghelt30 at gmail.com. Langhelt is spelt
L-A-N-G
H-E-L-T. That's L-A-N-G
H-E-L-T.
H-E-L-T. Yeah, you're on Twitter as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
F Langout or Francis Langout?
Which one's which?
F Langout is Twitter.
You're F Langhout on Twitter. And you're
Yes.
Francis Langhout. Francis with an E.
Yes.
On Instagram. There
Yes,
you go.
I am.
You can find us on there. Check them out. And you can also now find this podcast on podchaser.com on the Pod Nation list. Remember that if you're listening to us via the Pete and Fran podcast on Podbean and many others, then that will only be up until January. You need to follow us on Better Than Robin Hood. We're on all good podcasting apps. Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. So, thanks for everyone who sent input in for this episode.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, we mentioned them all at the top of the show. You can find all those podcasts on, as I said, the Pod Nation list on podchaser.com. And we've put in some promos for them as well. 3 promos this week. And eventually we'll put out promos for everyone on the Podchaser
Hopefully.
list. Yeah. Next week, Attack of the Clones. Oh God.
It's going to be good.
Discuss why Anakin doesn't like sand.
Oh.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll have a dig through the archives and see if I can find any more Star Wars secrets.
Okay.
Like I did this week.
I'm
Big
sure
thanks.
there are many.
There are many. Big thanks to all our listeners. Some really nice feedback again this week. And downloads continue to rise. We've got a really good core of downloads now. Thanks to everyone who's been listening on
Thank you very
SoundCloud.
much.
We've had a lot of new listeners on SoundCloud. So thanks very much for that. It is greatly appreciated. We love you. Bye.
Bye, 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 bye.
Hey, did you know that in the original Bloody Mary ritual, you had to walk backwards up a flight of stairs?
Oh, really? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and the purpose was to catch a glimpse of your future husband's face.
Really? I wish I could find my future husband that easily.
Honestly, all I really want to do now is drink a Bloody Mary.
Well, how about we go make some Bloody Marys while you tell me more fun facts about Bloody Mary?
Join us every week at Booze and Spirits,
where we make our favorite drinks and tell each other our favorite paranormal stories.
Find us under Booze and Spirits on Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, and Podbean.
And follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Booze and Spirits.
So once again, for some great indie podcasts, check out the Pod Nation list on podchaser.com.